Hi, welcome back to my channel. I had so much fun making all these Halloween DIYs. Halloween is my favourite holiday and I never even made DIYs before for it. I usually just buy them, but I like to put them up in the house all year round. Well, I did before I started living with my boyfriend, who is boring and doesn't like Halloween for all year round. So the first thing that I bought from Dollar Tree was this little bat, and all I did, this is the easiest DIY ever, is stain it with some Jacobean wood stain, because I just love bats and I love this wood stain, and it turned out really cute and simple. And then I had these little picture frames in my stash, and they had succulents in them before, but I used them for all those planters that I've been making. And so I'm just pulling out, they had like a little metal rod and some hot glue in it, so I just pulled them out and then I painted them with some Waverly chalk paint in white and ink, and I just did opposites. And for one, I just cut off the little clip from the spider and hot glued it in, and then I hot glued a skull and crossbones, but I took off the back of the skull so it would sit flat. Just a really easy, cute DIY that you could have out all year round if you love spooky stuff like me. So let me know in the comments, do you like Halloween all year round or just on Halloween? I only really celebrate Halloween and Christmas, none of the other holidays. So these are the only two times you'll probably get those kind of DIYs from me. And here I have another one of those picture frames, and I just painted it with the ink chalk paint. And these are the little slinkies from the toy section in Dollar Tree, and I am just scraping off the little made in China bit on the back. And they do have a smiley face on the front, but I just left that on because you're not going to see it. But you can take it off if you want. And all I'm doing is just hot gluing it inside so that it stays together. It stayed together a little bit too much. I did want it to wobble a little bit, but I messed up with hot glue. And then I'm just hot gluing the eyeball in, and that's just a freaky eye picture. And just was something really simple. I needed to use up all the eyeballs that I bought, so I made this. And then I decided to make another picture with the rest of the eyeballs that I had left over. So I glued together 10 tower blocks with some Dollar Tree super glue, wood glue, and then I cut up a bit of foam board and I hot glued that to the foam board, and then I painted it with the ink chalk paint. And I already made these eyeballs while I was waiting for the paint to dry. It was just the same thing, except I cut them down so that they'd be different lengths. And then I glued them on with a gem tack this time because the hot glue was a bit messy. A bit too messy. So I'm using the gem tack instead. And here there's only 6 eyeballs, but I did find another one, so I stuck that one as well. I would like to make one with more eyeballs, but this is all I had. And I was trying to make them wobble for you guys. I had another frame from Dollar Tree. And actually I used loads of stuff from my stash for this video, stuff that had just been I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it yet. So I was going to paint it with this, the Jacobean wood stain, but I changed my mind and I painted the outside frame with the ink Waverly chalk paint, and I painted the inside with some elephant chalk paint. And I'm just laying out all the little skulls, and the skull and crossbones are just piled in. And I actually got this idea, well, the inspiration for this from Barefoot and Crafting on Instagram. She had some, I'll link it down below. She had this like rose gold skulls all piled on top of each other, and it was so pretty, and I was like, oh, I need something like that. So I went to Dollar Tree and I found these skulls, and then this is what I decided to do, which also I would keep up all year round. Well, I have to be in my craft room because he's boring and doesn't like Halloween all year round. He's normal, I mean. And I just cut off the back of these skulls so that they sit flat, and then I just hot glue them on, like trying to make an even space in between them, and then I hot glue. And for the skull and bones, just pile them in any old way, doesn't really matter. I did put the skulls like facing different directions, how they would like if they were in a real skull and bone pile. And I just kept hot gluing them on until I filled up the frame. And I love these. I would buy these if I seen them in a shop. So I'm definitely going to put them up in my craft room for all year round. Do you like them? Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what your favourite DIY today is. For this next DIY, I just painted the inside of this pumpkin and the edges all around the outside of this sign with some ink chalk paint. And I went outside and I spray painted these Mardi Gras beads with some black, Rust-Oleum black spray paint. And I don't know why I didn't show it. I didn't show it for any of these DIYs, but I used a whole tin of it for this video. It's because it was outside. I just forgot to bring it in and show you. So it was Rust-Oleum flat black spray paint. And then I just hot glued the Mardi Gras beads all the way around. And then I got a bit of ribbon and I just tied it on the top to make a hanger. And then I found this pretty dahlia flower, so all I'm going to do is clip it on, so if I want to use it for something else or put something else in this board, I can do that. And then I painted the little mini clothes pegs black, and then I'm just going to hot glue them on. So you can just put pictures on this. I don't have any. I'm gonna, well, I have to go and find something to put on them in Dollar Tree tomorrow before I put this video out. I loved making all these DIYs. Black is my favourite colour, and I love anything gothic and spooky. So I could make Halloween DIYs forever. They were honestly so much fun to make. So I had this wee house in my stash, and I'm just going to paint the frame with some Waverly ink chalk paint. I'm going to dry brush it with some elephant chalk paint, and I'm going to paint inside with some ivory chalk paint, off camera, obviously. And I found this wee bat on Cricut Design Space, and I printed it with my Cricut Joy. and I did look for a ghost, but I couldn't. They weren't good. I didn't like any of them. So I found this bat and I loved it, so I'm putting the bat on it. Yeah, I'm still getting used to using the Cricut because it's new, but it's a bit fiddly. But the results look so good, so I made quite a few things for this video, so I'm definitely going to try and use it some more. Yeah, just make a sticker, stick it on basically. And I made Home Sweet Haunted Home. Yeah, so the Cricut, you're just basically printing off a sticker and then transferring it to whatever you are DIYing. I just love this. I love that bat, it's so cute. And I'm not usually into signs with words on them, but so I decided to paint the inside of the skeleton picture with the ivory chalk paint, and it took 3 coats because I already have a picture like this from Michael's from a few years ago, but it's glass and it has like a skeleton x-ray on it. But I did like the lace around it, so I decided to print off some cute pictures with my Cricut Joy. And I picked some bats, a castle, a haunted house, and a spider. And then it's just the same thing, transferring it, transferring the sticker. So you print it off, it's like a sticker, and it's like a vinyl sticker, and then you have to peel away all the bits you're not going to use, and then you use the clear transfer tape to get the pieces to stick to it so you can transfer it to your DIY, but sometimes they don't want to stick. And then I see people on YouTube doing it and it looks so easy, but sometimes it comes off easy, sometimes it doesn't. And you just peel away the transfer tape and that's it. And I made a spooky castle, and I made a moon with a bat, but that wasn't part of the design, that was just another one that I found there because I thought it was a bit plain with just the castle. And this is the haunted house, a haunted mansion. And I made another little moon and bat for this one, which wasn't part of this design. And I forgot to show you the spider. But there it is. And I love this too. Has I love castles and I love spooky mansions, so let me know what you guys think in the comments. I was just so nice to make something other than tower block letters, because I feel like I've just been doing them for ages now, and I know I still have more to do. And for this one, I got these little pots. Everyone is from Dollar Tree, and I had them for a while as well. And this is what I bought the eyeballs for. So I just took some the green paint and I watered it down to make the pots look old and moldy. And then I just painted these flowers that I had with some black ink paint. And I'd made these palettes for another DIY and didn't end up using them. And I stained them with the Jacobean wood stain. And then I'm just gluing them together. So I'm just gonna take the malachite chalk paint and just paint some lines on these leaves so they're not just plain black. And then I put some floral foam in each of the pots, and then some reindeer moss. And then I put the leaves back on the stems and I bent them over a little bit. And I forgot to film me putting the vine leaves on the back of, well, on the pallets behind the plants, and putting the plants on the palette. So sorry about that. I got the vine on Amazon, and then I just glued in the eyeballs. And I love how these turned out. I know Dollar Tree does some roses with the little eyeballs in them, but I wanted some bigger eyeballs and I wanted them to be more like plants. This next DIY, I stained this little tray with some Jacobean wood stain by Minwax. I love it, it's beautiful. And then I made this little Ouija board, and I got the print from the Crafted Lumberjacks, and I will leave a link down below in case you guys want to make it. And I just made it on my Cricut Joy. It's just the same thing again, transferring the sticker. I thought the gold would go nice with the wood stain, and it did. Oh, and here you can see my little friend Ethan playing with my stuff. He likes to come in my craft room and play with everything when he's not coming in to paint. And I had this gold chain from Dollar Tree, so I thought I would just dress it up a little bit and hot glue it around the edges. And you can use it as a tray, or I just put some crystals on it just to show you guys. You can put like little trinkets on it, whatever you guys want. This is one of the wee fancies from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to take my hot knife and take off the extra bits. They're supposed to join the fancies together. I'm just going to melt them off. And then it doesn't go through easy at first, and then it just pops off. And I just do the same to the other side, and it ends up being like this. And then I have this sign from Dollar Tree, and I'm just taking the wee tag off. And oh, I do show the spray paint. So I spray painted them both, and yeah, because I didn't like that silver colour on the skulls, so I spray painted them both. And I'm just painting some pearls here so I can cover up the holes where the ribbon was. And it looks nice just like this. You could just make a sign like this if you wanted. But I'm just marking where the inside is, and then I paint it with some steel chalk paint, Waverly chalk paint, and I gave it 2 coats. And this is some of the creepy cloth from Dollar Tree, and I just had 2 layered, it was like 2 layers together. And then I just hot glue it on, and then I cut off the little stringy bits that are left over at the end. And I'll have to find something else to do with the rest of this cloth. I'm definitely going to make some more Halloween decorations. So I just glue on the little pearls with some gem tack. And I tried to find the fairy lights in Dollar Tree, but I couldn't, so I got these like Christmas tree lights. So they will just have to do. And I just hot glue them inside the bones. And they say 5 foot long. And I thought they looked a bit short, but I measured them against myself and they are 5 foot. But they don't go all the way around. They don't go all the way around that. And then next I hot glue some tumbling tower blocks inside the skulls so that it can attach to the sign. And you can paint the cable if you want. I'm not going to bother because I'm going to stand mine on a shelf and you're not going to see the cable anyway. And I forgot to say that I reused the ribbon from the sign to make a hanger for this. I got this little triangle wood thing from Dollar Tree, and these little dragons are from the toy section. And well, I had to put this DIY in this video because I didn't know what else it would go with. But I just stained some of the wood from Dollar Tree with the Jacobean wood stain. So beautiful. And then I'm just going to glue the blocks onto the bottom because I'm making a tray. And I did spray paint this 3 times, but you could still see it says Dream on it. But you can't see it once I put this Cricut thing on it. And I picked this one because it looks like an eye, and it's got like a sun and moons and stuff on it. I was looking for a dragon's eye, but none of the dragon stuff was that good, so I found this instead. But you could put anything you want on it. There is so much nice stuff to choose from. I've seen so much stuff that I'm definitely gonna do some DIYs with in the future. And I just put it all together. Didn't glue any of it down because I might use this stuff again. And I just spray painted some of the gems from Dollar Tree, and that's a megalodon tooth, but I'm going to pretend that it's a dragon tooth. I'm making my first tier tray, and I had this stuff, well, not the glass thing, but I had the other stuff in my stash. I bought it thinking I'll use it one day, and then I just had no ideas for it until now. So I'm just gluing it all together with some hot glue and some Gorilla Glue, and then I leave it to set overnight. Or the glue started squirting out the side of the tube. So I'll have to put it on like this. And you need to try and get in the centre, but it doesn't matter if it's a wee bit off, no one will notice. I don't even have anything to, well, I didn't have anything to put on this tier tray. I had to go out and try and find some stuff at Dollar Tree to dress it up a little bit. So I bought this stake thing and I wasn't going to get it, and I was like, I didn't know what I was going to use it for, but I got it anyway. And then I decided that's how I got the tier tray idea. I thought, oh, I'll put this on the top of it. So I glued it together with some of the tumbling tower block, and I used some cable ties to hold it together. They were also from Dollar Tree. And I'm just putting an extra block in the bottom. And then I found these necklaces from the graduation section, and they're a little bit bigger than the Mardi Gras beads, so I just put them all around, well, the bottom and the second tier, but the top tier I used the Mardi Gras beads because it's a bit thinner. And then I spray painted everything with the Rust-Oleum spray paint, and I used a candle holder from Amazon to put the bat stake in to stand it up, and I have a link down below for them. And I didn't attach the bat to the tier tray, so that after Halloween is finished I could take the bat off and still use it. Oh, and this is definitely my favourite DIY of the video. I love it, and yeah, I just love it. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and see you again soon.